Hi guys, welcome back to the IEM Katowice tournament 2024 held in Poland. As once again we have a very interesting international engagement in between the two pro players, and as you can see from the timer, a very long game. We have spawning here in the low right. In the red it is CLEM from France, and his opponent spawning here in the upper left. In the blue it is Stats from South Korea. So yeah, very interesting game, like I told you, as they're spawning here on Oceanborn, a ASL map. I believe it is a 2 spawning location map, and yeah, very soon, like in the previous replays on this channel, we are going to be checking out the build orders very soon out of the pro players. So we have a pylon in a very interesting location here by Stats. I believe this pylon can also give cover to teleport some units into this location, just to give more protection towards this one expansion here, as he's also continuing with his gateway in a very early scout here by Stats towards the enemy, towards CLEM. CLEM also opening a pretty standard supply depot into barracks with gas, so we might see some Reapers from him. And it's also very interesting to see if he's going for mass bio or mass mech versus the Protoss. So in comes the probe. He's going to try to be annoying as much as he can. He's going to try to snipe this one SCV, already dealing good damage, but CLEM nicely reacting with a SCV against that. So yeah, the production tab is here up in the left part. In case I'm missing something, we see actually Stats go for his expansion as well, as he's also adding a cybernetics core. So we might see some adepts, we might see some stalkers, as CLEM is also going for his expansion here. And yeah, everything is getting nicely scouted out here by Stats very soon. Stats of course wants to know what the next buildings are going to be. It's going to be factory into starport, or a fast another expansion could be also a possibility here for CLEM, hiding the other expansion into this location and then landing it off. But yeah, it is actually a pretty normal build order with factory. Very soon should be followed up with a starport. Let's check Stats once again. He's going for a fast stalker. The warp cape is also getting produced, as double assimilator is also almost being finished here. So the pretty standard stuff, no early aggression by both players. We actually now see CLEM moving out with his first, I believe, scouting SCV on the map. So yeah, let's have a look what the next steps are going to be. Perhaps it's going to be some mass bio for him, for CLEM, as he's also going into his second barracks. And the first probes are also getting produced here by but hold on, we actually see a proxy building getting produced here. So we have a starport into this location. This could be Banshee harassment versus the mineral line from Stats. Could be a possibility here for him. So let's see what exactly the plans from CLEM are. So he's not producing any SCVs from here. I believe he's saving all of the money for those Banshees and for some Hellions. So this could be a double harassment timing push by CLEM versus his opponent, as the Hellions will very likely attack this location, and the Banshees might take care of this location up here. So let's have a look if indeed these are the plans from CLEM. But hold on, no, it's actually going for a medevac. So it seems to be a drop ship harassment with 4 Hellions. I believe you can fit 4 Hellions into the medevac, so 4 Hellions very deadly early on. Of course, the ramp is pretty much blocked here by Stats nicely, but little does he know that I believe CLEM is going for the dropship harassment, already starting his booster, and is moving out now straight towards the main from Stats. There are some stalkers here, so nice reaction here by Stats, as those 2 stalkers will of course deal as much damage they can towards this one medevac. But in comes a drop, and now of course the Hellions will be targeted. This can be very deadly here against the probes. So many probes might fall here. Finally the medevac is taken down. 5 probes have already been killed, 6 now, even 8, and there's 3 still, 2 Hellions being left alive here. So very good harassment here by CLEM. He might take out many more probes, but now he's just deciding to micro them out of danger. So very nice move by CLEM, opting to go for 8 workers here. Very nice move, losing the medevacs of course, but luckily for him he didn't lose the other Hellions. So very nice harassment by him. Let's see the answer here by Stats. He's very likely also going to go for a harassment, or is, is actually pulling back. The Hellions are still here, and interesting enough, the starport has been brought back into the main from CLEM. So nice Slamming push by him, a nice harassment, a very good build order by him, just to harass the economy as much as he can from his opponent. Very nice stuff. Blink is also about to get finished, as Stats is still turtling up here, but hold on, actually he is reacting with a prism of his own with some stalkers. So let's see where exactly is he going to attack. There is a bunker here. This could be a good location to attacking. And hold on, even more also getting sniped as the Hellions just moved here forward into this location. So the Hellions have been taken care of, however many workers have died for Stats. Now Stats is very likely going to attack this location as the bunker has been salvaged, and he might even teleport some units here forward with the war prism. There's a nice blink, the tank has reacted immediately, dealing splash damage towards those stalkers. But yeah, nice micro here by Stats, but hold on, actually the medivac, Protoss medivac, of course the prism is being taken out by those cyclones. So nice defense. I believe with this CLEM has a small advantage now. His harassment was very strong, and now he even took care of those prism with the stalkers. So very great move by him, very nice reaction. The tank also nicely hidden here in the back, dealing splash damage towards those stalkers. Very good stuff here by the French player. And let's say the reaction from Stats, he's going to very likely continue with his turtling up, adding another expansion into this location. I believe he's going to straight prepare his defenses and go for a more macro oriented game, and there we have his answer. It is actually Psionic Storm, just to give him more tankiness at home and more defensive purposes. He might even try to harass once again with 4 High Templars, but they need of course much energy, as Psionic Storm is about to get finished very soon. So the next target could be here. There is no anti-air for CLEM, so he might need some turrets into this location. There is one here, but this location could be very nicely abused, as Stats still has to make up his mind if he's going to attack or not. And yeah, at the same time CLEM is now moving out with an interesting mix of units. We have Marines with Marauders and 2 tanks, some Cyclones, but the observer sees of course everything CLEM does as we're closing in towards the 10-minute mark. So quite interesting game with a small advantage if you ask me for CLEM, as his harassment worked out really well and his defense was also very good. Don't see that prism on the map yet. I believe Stats going to use it for defensive purposes only here, as yeah, there it is. So for defensive and for micro purposes here, as yeah, CLEM is just roaming around the map, just try to get as much map control as possible. And yeah, at the same time he's also taking this expansion here. So yeah, pretty good stuff. More workers here for CLEM available, as he's now finally deciding to move forward, and he's nicely steaming up and kiting those units, so both players not starting to attack very strongly here, as concussive shells I believe will be finished very soon for CLEM here. So with that he might try to move forward very soon, as we actually see a move out by him with Widow Mine. So another nice harassment as he's sending out, hold on, this prism somehow made it here forward. And we actually see 13 SCVs. I completely missed this one, so sorry about this one guys. 13 SCVs have been sniped with the prism and with those High Templar Storms. Let's have a look at the answer from CLEM. So this one caught me even by surprise. And there comes the dropship harassment with the mine into this location. That's not reacting yet. And the other mine is also here into this location. Only 1 worker has been killed, and the second one actually dealing good damage, 6 workers. So a nice harassment by Stats into this location with those Psionic Storms, just killing so many of those SCVs. And yeah, very soon we will pass the 10-minute mark, so both players just smallly harassing each other with some damage against the economy, as we haven't seen a major attack yet. So yeah, both players playing defensively. However, as I say this, Stats decides to move out here with his High Templars, with his Zealots on the ground. Let's see what he's able to do. He's very likely going to teleport some units into this location just to give more cover towards his units, as we also have a flying larva here. I believe a larva looking like a creature, quite interesting. And yeah, let's see, Stats still roaming around. I believe he's going to stay back to give defense towards his expansions there. It's just 1 medivac moving here forward with 1 mine, so yeah, CLEM just roaming around, just forcing Stats to leave some units behind. Eventually the mine is going to be taken out, yes, without killing any workers. So pretty good stuff. Good defense here by Stats, as Stats has stabilized with 70 workers versus the 71, as you can see on the minimap. not that much is happening right now. We have a small stalemate as both players are playing very defensively, fearing of course any harassment, as yeah, still those stalkers patrolling here, trying to search for this one medevac and give of course cover towards this one expansion here. At the same time, CLEM I believe is going to prepare his next defense for this expansion here, so very safe gameplay, very nice strategic gameplay here by both players, as we now have Colossi for stats to counter the biomass on the ground, but CLEM thinking about this also has some ghosts with EMP and some Vikings in the airs, and CLEM is actually looking like he's going to commit here forward very soon to very likely attack the expansion point from stats, as the observers also moving out. Hold on, this one prism might get sniped, but no, actually lucky move out here by stats with his prism, as he's able to teleport some zealots into this location just to counter perhaps the newly established base by CLEM. And in the middle of the map we might see some strong engagement here. A good Sonic Storm, one Viking has been taken out, and we might see EMP Shockwave by CLEM very soon. He has to be careful not to get snapped by the units, and let's see what those zealots can do here, countering the newly established expansion points by CLEM. And here they go, but they just pass here forward, so stats not paying attention. I believe he's going to try to go straight for this location indeed, as he's now moving forward, just trying to snap some supply depots, some SCVs, and this is forcing of course CLEM to come back to fight this off. At the same time, CLEM also reacting with a small group of Marines with Marauders, having some ghosts, but there are of course high Templar Storms here for that defense, perfect against all of that bio here from CLEM, so very good unit to have to scare off all of those units, and at the same time they will be intercepted by some zealots very soon, so a good move out by stats, all of a sudden giving him a good advantage here into this location, taking out so many of those units from the Terran. So nice reaction by him, good defense. High Templar Storm, very strong. And let's see, once again both players are pretty much retreating towards their bases, and this one mine could get a good connection here, but stats needs an observer very quick, as he has also established this base into this location. So quite interesting game with a nice back and forward, a good harassment by both players, good pickups by both players. Still anyone's game of course. The upgrades also look very good here for CLEM, as they do for stats. And let's see what this group of zealots could do. They might attack into this location. There are not that many, only 2 cyclones defending here. The CLEM plays it very safe. Same can be said here for stats as well. And let's see what the next steps are going to be, as some liberators have joined the army from the Terran. Let's check the main from stats. We actually see a transition into some carriers, so he's going to very likely try to suicide some of those zealots and some stalkers, and perhaps go straight into massive amounts of those carriers. And we actually see a move out here by CLEM, EMP Shockwave going out, but stats has the mothership there, and even high Templar Storms to fend this off, as some more cannons will fall. Very likely a nice volley here out of those Vikings, killing the mothership, but in the end in come the reinforcements here by stats. Quick storms, nice connection goes onto the bio and onto the liberators on the ground, but there's still so much being left, and even the mines are here still taking good shots. In the end, stats is going to clear this and dealing good damage against the supplies of CLEM. So yeah, the high Templar Storm looks like to be a perfect counter against the masses here from the Terran. I believe stats is going to pretty much transition into more high Templar Storms with carriers. And let's see if CLEM is going to continue with his bio. We can see it, the production tab, EMP Shockwaves with the Ghost will be the answer against the high Templar Storms. As yeah, it's still of course anyone game one. Lone Liberator here is very likely going to be taken out very soon. And yeah, things have settled down a little bit, but as I said, this CLEM also decides once again to move out again into this location. He really wants to take out a newly established base by the Terran, as the upgrades will also finish very soon. We can see infantry and air from stats. Yeah, very nice strategic gameplay here by both players. And yeah, still anyone's game, as we actually see a nuclear launch now, but the Ghost pretty much getting intercepted, so stats thinking about that too. He's moving out, and he's also having those high Templar Storms behind. to give more defensive purposes here for him. At the same time, CLEM is also establishing a new base into this location. So at the same time as he's attacking, so he's also expanding, so very smart move by him. Really, really smart move. Both players try to, of course, to gain as much map control as possible. And yeah, now the high ground here, info stats, as you might see, a small engagement here. And one Cyclone is very likely going to be taken out. There's so many carriers, so CLEM really needs that anti-air. He has so many Vikings in the air. As he also has those coals underground with EMP, they will be very, very important. He just needs to be careful not to clump them all together, just to not eat a Psionic Storm from stats. At the same time, stats taking this location, CLEM looks like he's going to go for the newly established base into this location right here. Stats might just try to counter it, and we might see a base trade scenario very soon, as these units will very likely get intercepted very soon. So a nice move out here by Stats. This newly established base is pretty much under danger, so CLEM has to return with his main forces to give it cover. And yes, so much damage is being taken now out of the command center here. And yeah, very nice stuff here by CLEM, sorry, by Stats, as he's able to take out the newly established base, but so much damage out of those Vikings here as well, and the medivacs will also get taken out very soon. We might see a teleportation now back home by Stats. Very interesting move by him, taking out the expansion and then just straight teleporting back. Let's see the reaction from CLEM. Is he going also for the newly established base? He's also making more bases here into this location. And yeah, good defenses here by Stats with cannons, with stalkers, and with the high temper storm, as he is just roaming around the map just to give more cover towards those newly established bases. Oh yeah, nice stuff. Ground weapons level 3 has also been finished here, as in comes CLEM with his units. Lots and lots of Vikings in the air. Perhaps if Stats would transition into some ground units, mass stalkers would be very interesting. So do not give any importance towards those Vikings, but it's still carriers in the air. So much anti-air here for CLEM. I believe Stats might change his tactics. We also see a nuclear launch getting launched here very soon by the Ghost, as it might get a good connection. At the same time, we see a teleportation all of a sudden with the nuke is about to get dropped here, but the real action is happening here. 2 command centers and some SCVs have been taken out, as the nuclear launch has also landed here, killing 4 probes and all of those stuff here. And we see another defensive nuclear launch. There is the Ghost. So Stats needs to be careful as he's withdrawing once again. And yeah, the SCVs will repair the command center here very soon. So very nice stuff here. Good teleportation tactic here by Stats with his mothership, with his carriers, showing lots and lots of map presence, as yeah, he's able to teleport around the map. So CLEM has to react. It looks like he's going to try for a flank versus all of the units, and let's see what's going to happen next and what the next targets are going to be here for both players. As CLEM once again roaming around the map, Stats decides to play it a little bit defensively, and very soon we could see another attack. You can see the upgrades, very nice here for the Terran, but hold on, we actually have great EMPs. All of those units have eaten so many EMPs, and Stats has to retreat towards the cover of the cannons. He might need some shield batteries. Yes, indeed, there are the shield batteries to replenish the shields from the Protoss. As yeah, in comes CLEM from the high ground, going down the stairs, but there's so many shield batteries with. But hold on, actually we see another teleportation here by Stats, as he's moving straight towards another location. So this is going to force once again CLEM to come back, as Stats look like he's going for the newly established bases once again. CLEM knows this as he's coming back with his units, and yeah, there he is. Luckily for him, he made it in time. And now Stats with a very interesting strategy, teleporting his units all around the map with that mothership. So very nice stuff. But hold on, actually now the great fall is here out of the Vikings, taking out one carrier, damaging the second one. Yeah. But nice stuff here by most players. And look at all that sheer army from Vikings here from CLEM. Very strong with the EMPs on the ground and with the atomic bomb here into this location. Yeah, very nice stuff here by CLEM, as we slowly but steadily will pass the 20-minute marks, and we can see a great flank once again, just one-shotting that one carrier, second carrier, and once again another carrier has been shot. Only EMP, only high temper storms can take this out. Another high temper storm, but one carrier after the other falls here out of those volleys here from the Vikings, from the CLEM. So very nice stuff. Yet another volley might follow here, so nice stuff. We have now invisibility for the Protoss, and the Vikings are even attacking now the Colossi on the ground. So very nice stuff here by CLEM. This is just snapping one carrier after the other, and look at that, only two carriers have been at, as his mothership also seems to be doing some sort of an aura, the ice aura here, perhaps giving invisibility or more armor, looking very interesting, just like the Lich from Dota 2. So yeah, quite an interesting spell for the Protoss there to have. I believe it's giving a little bit of more cover, or perhaps a little bit more of shield. So yeah, nice stuff here by Stats. Still so many Vikings are being left alive for CLEM, and those Vikings very crucial versus the carriers. We saw how they one-shot one carrier after the other, and then they took on the Colossi. So I believe Stats is going to very likely go to more high temper storms. They seem to be a great answer towards all of those clumped up together units here by CLEM. And yeah, once again we see a good EMP, and the Stats is just going to blink out of danger. And yet another EMP, but yet the Vikings are pretty much useless now, so this could be a great idea from Stats into going into all of those ground units this time. I believe air didn't work out, and he might even be smart and not attack the air units from CLEM. Here we have some Liberators now in the air. Stats with a great micro, just killing unit after unit here, so all of the Vikings all of a sudden have to land. Indeed, there they are, they're going to land here and clear this up eventually. But yeah, more some stocks moving now forward here for Stats. So nice stuff by him as he's just taking out Viking after Viking. A very nice move by him, and yeah, just keeps on snapping unit after unit. Very smart micro here by Stats. Just one unit after the other is getting sniped. So very nicely done by him. So all of a sudden, all of those Vikings here from CLEM looking like they're pretty much useless, as Stats, being smart, he's going to divert into other units, underground units, or as you know, he's actually still making carriers. So quite an interesting move. He has so many gateways. This could have been a hold on. We actually have a small counter here with some zealots, with some stalkers on the ground. 13 SCVs have been killed, but he would be very smart to go into mass stalkers with Psionic Storm, just to make those Vikings pretty much useless, if you ask me. Liberators are also in the air, and look how good the Psionic Storm is. And actually at the same time we see another counter here, so 20 SCVs have been fallen, more SCVs have fallen left and right, and finally CLEM is going to react with his units, with his Liberators in the air, and the Vikings are pretty much on the retreat. So this is what I told you, the large amount of Vikings. He might even suicide those Vikings, might even kill them and make some other units, as a small group of Stalkers is just roaming around here into this map. Yeah, he pretty much has to land the Vikings now into fighting, but they're of course not that good on the ground as they are in the air. So yeah, let's check the worker amount. CLEM with less workers of course than Stats. So Stats all of a sudden into a great advantage, as those Stalkers prove to be the winning match. But still I don't understand why he's going for more carriers, knowing that CLEM has so many Vikings. So perhaps a little bit of a mistake here for the Protoss player. Still has so many carriers, even though all of those Vikings are pretty much useless. If he would have gone into mass stalkers with high temper storms, then again I'm sure he knows exactly what he's doing. Yeah, the mothership is still roaming around with her lights on, just see what's happening on the ground. So very nice unit to have indeed. And yeah, in comes another nuke by CLEM into this location, as he should be able to get a good connection. There are no Stats units here, just right now 4 observers are moving forward, and a good disruptor shot going to take out this one. Of course, as even the gun was flying around here. So yeah, 3 SCVs are falling somewhere onto the map. The small engagement by Stats just harassing the enemy, and yeah, CLEM really wants to also take out this newly established base, but Stats is close by with his carrier. Still the fleet looking very strong by CLEM, and actually CLEM taking this expansion here, very nice move by him. At the same time Stats having this expansion here with, interesting enough, some probes that aren't mining anymore, so perhaps a small mistake by Stats, as the main armies are just roaming around the map. We see yet another nuclear launch here into this location, but the stalkers are nearby with an observer very soon. There should be an observer, of course. There's the psionic storm. And this will be cleared off, but the main action is of course going to happen here. Into this location we see the high temper storm once again dealing massive amounts of splash damage versus the units from CLEM, but CLEM is pretty much going to commit here forward. So many probes on island, they will be taken out, so CLEM pretty much in control of this situation right here, this position right here, as he's able to take out so much of the units, even splitting his troops here once again, volley after volley, almost killing this one carrier. But we also have 9 probes getting killed here, 10 probes, so this expansion has to be abandoned by stats. So stats all of a sudden getting a little bit more imbalanced now, and at the same time he's reacting with another teleportation into the newly established base. So very quick thinking here by stats, abandoning the base up here, and at the same time just teleporting his units here into this location. Yet now he has to be very careful against the ghosts with the atomic bomb and with EMP shockwave. And yeah, it's still anyone's game, but all of a sudden those Vikings are still important for CLEM and EMP doing great job. All of a sudden all of those units are pretty much trapped, so stats has to recall into another location, perhaps here. No, it's heading straight towards the shield batteries into his newly established base. And yeah, let's have a look at the work around. Pretty much the same all of a sudden, as CLEM is even able to move out with another army here. So still mass carriers, quite interesting choice here by the Protoss, as there's mass Vikings for the Terran. So we saw how they can one-shot one carrier after the other, so perhaps stats might rethink his strategy. He's now going for Archons. Archons also a very good answer against so many Terran clumped up together units. But let's not forget EMP shockwave, and I believe high temperatures with storm would have been perhaps a better option, perhaps with a prism. And we could see a drop here into this location by CLEM as this gas is going to be taken out. Let's see what CLEM is going to be doing here, taking some fire out of the cannon. And yeah, slowly but steadily you can see we are closing in towards the end of the game, but it's going to be a mistake by CLEM, as one medivac might get taken out, the second one also taking some damage. And yeah, the reinforcements will also be taken out, so CLEM tried of course his best here to do some damage, but in the end it didn't work out. And there goes in the front with EMP shockwaves, getting prepared to land those EMP shockwaves against the carriers' shields. And yeah, one EMP after the other, even Liberators are in the air. Quick EMP once again, and that's been pretty much clumped up together, so he's going to eat so much of that EMP, and so much damage could be taken by him. But the ghosts all of a sudden are pretty low on energy. However, the Vikings are moving forward, and they might snap this one mothership, as already one volley, 2 volleys, and he's already killed that mothership. So this is exactly what I was telling you about. Look at that, one volley after the other. The Archons are now in the front, they deal with damage, good splash damage. The Stalkers will give cover towards the carriers, and now he has to retreat. So good reaction here by stats. Nice macro with the Stalkers in the front, with Archons in the front, as they will be able to take out unit after unit and Viking after Viking. So nice stuff here by stats. All of a sudden the ghosts pretty much useless, as they don't have energy. Finally one EMP, it's a good shot, but all of the units from CLEM are pretty much hurt, as he has to retreat and perhaps repair his units. So yeah, good stuff here for both players. A very balanced game, still anyone's game. As I told you, we are closing towards the end of the game, and where exactly do they mine? Only from this location. Some SCVs will be brought forward. That's mining from this newly established base, so that's very important for him as he's transitioning all of those probes into this location. Yeah, let's see what is going to happen here. Still lots and lots of Vikings in the air. Ghosts with more energy now on the ground. They will be very important to land those EMP shockwaves. And supply wise, there's more supply here for CLEM, and the carriers on the high ground waiting here, of course, and the reinforcements also pouring in. It's just a couple of zealots to give more cover towards the units from stats. And yes, CLEM knows that this is the only mining base from his opponent. The same can be said here for CLEM, as this is the only mining base from him. There's also small stuff here getting mined, but we could see a good engagement here. Nice EMP shockwaves landed onto all of those units. We do have an Oracle, no, it's actually a Disruptor on the ground. It's going to be very important to get some good connections with this one disruptors on the ground. And in comes CLEM. He might commit here, one carrier getting taken out. Every unit is very important now, as some EMPs could land. Once again, the Vikings are in the front, sniping yet another carrier. Nice stuff here, as both players are pretty much committing another volley, and we do see a overcharge into the shield battery. But yeah, in come the Vikings once again. Even the ghosts on the ground dealing some damage. And yeah, it's still anyone's game. A very interesting hold on. The disruptor might get a good connection here. Stalkers are in the front, one carrier almost taken out. The Stalkers deal good damage against all of those Vikings in here. Then now the ghosts are pretty much abandoned. But yeah, in comes CLEM back with his reinforcements. That tries to react with some Psionic Storm, but one volley after the other will hold on. Actually, a great blink here forward, as Stats feels confident to move forward, and a great storm, but CLEM somehow out-micros it. And yeah, the carriers in the back are still dealing good damage. However, the volley once again from those Vikings, lots and lots of Vikings are still pretty much alive here for CLEM. Only Stalkers now could counter this, but we do have EMP from the Ghost, and the Vikings might have to land here on the ground to take out the remaining CVs. And yeah, let's see. Now CLEM has pretty much established this base. We still see a great micro out of Stats, blinking out of those Stalkers out of danger. Very nice stuff here by him, showing us how useless now the Vikings are, and they have to be landed, as the Stalkers are getting now backed up by Zealots. So no more air units for Stats. All of a sudden he's going straight into Stalkers with Zealots. And yeah, but those EMPs really strong, and now the Viking have landed. Some have landed, some are still flying. It's still mass Stalkers here for the Protoss. And yeah, great snipe. But yeah, the CLEM is just going to move forward with his Marauders on the ground, with his Ghosts. Let's see what the next steps are going to be. We have a counter here with those carriers, and CLEM needs to send out the Vikings back. So the carriers are pretty much getting sacrificed here just to take out the expansion. CLEM has to retreat some Vikings, but they will eventually, or they should eventually, counter those carriers. Hold on, we actually see a teleportation happening here by CLEM, sorry, by Stats, as he's now moving forward, and now all of a sudden the Vikings have to return to their main force. So great stuff here by Stats, of course abusing the teleportation ability or the recall ability by the Protoss. Very nicely done, as now the Vikings have finally returned, and they will snipe interceptor after interceptor. But the main targets are of course those carriers in the air. Great disruptor shots, might take out so many units. Nicely done. The Vikings wait for their volley as they kill one carrier after the other. And it looks like CLEM is going to pretty much commit here. He's going to kill one carrier after the other, and he might try to land now all of those Vikings. Yes, indeed, he's landing all of the Vikings. It's mass Vikings on the ground, backed up by the Marines, by the Marauders, and even the Liberator is shooting here. Lots and lots of Medivacs in the air, as well as all of a sudden, yes indeed, CLEM is going to be able to take this game. So what a crazy game by him. Yes, Stats tried to counterattack with those carriers, but I believe ground units would have been much better with high temper storms. Even Immortals would have been a good idea. But yeah, of course, Stats knows what he's doing. CLEM in the end proving to be too strong. And yeah, taking this game. So very interesting game here from Katowice 2024 February. Nice stuff by both players. I hope you guys enjoyed. We'll be seeing you, of course, in the next replays. This is Tommy signing out.